So what's good, what's going on guys? JA, want to welcome everybody to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's new video. So for your viewing pleasure, we have a clip of a first look of a retail pair of the upcoming YEEZY 700 V1 Faded Azure, which is set to drop very soon. So we know this year, Adidas decided to bring back one of their more impactful silhouettes, the 700 V1, in an array of colors. They all somewhat kind of feature this orange sole. Some of my favorite releases, of course, we got the 700 V1 Sun, and the Inflamed Amber was probably my favorite release this year. We even got a restock of the classic 700 V1 Wave Runner, and you guys know how I feel about the Wave Runners. But before we get into that look, guys, we got to talk about the latest YEEZY leak. So thank you to the fine folks over at YEEZY Mafia for providing this mock-up photo of what to expect from the upcoming 700 MNVN resin, which is set to drop early 2022. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I first saw this image, I almost spat out my coffee, because I know somewhere in this big ass pile of boxes, I have a pair of the MNVN Phosphor, and I'm thinking like, are we being trolled? Like, is this a rehash, the same exact thing? But then I thought, you know, with my YEEZY head, and I was like, you know what, JA? They did this pair so that way people that already have the Phosphor can have their own story, their own colorway. And this resin pair, it's gotta be something that's not as bright, because the Phosphor was more of like a neon green, while this should be more of like a faint, muted out type of green, if you know what I'm saying, more in line with resin. But then I got to thinking, like, maybe they're just dropping this because it's just so different that we're gonna have to shell out a whole nother $220 or however much these retail for. But anyways, guys, I won't be copping these. I already have my Phosphor pair somewhere back here that I haven't worn in a while. I'm more of a fan of the orange that you see here, and I really like the Honey Flux, which released this year. Now, I know some of you guys are gonna be like, JA, these are bricks. And yeah, they are bricks. This year, all of the MNVN colorways that released this year didn't have too much resale. I'm talking the bright blues, the cyans, as well as these. So yeah, these don't have any hype surrounding them, and I don't expect the upcoming resin pair to have any hype. So it's great for people that just kind of want to grab a comfortable, good looking sneaker and having to deal with all of the jumping through all the hoops, you know, to try and cop from the secondary market. So the upcoming resin is a cool pair. I'll be passing on them just because I already have a colorway so very similar to it. But with this upcoming news, it also got me to thinking about these upcoming MNVN colorways, because remember guys, coming up this December towards the end of the month, we have the MNVN Metallic as well as the MNVN Geo. So I don't know what those joints look like just yet, but with this recent reveal, it's got me speculating just a little bit on what these colors could look like. So let's go ahead and throw on our tin hats and let's speculate on what these upcoming colors could look like. So first, let's talk about the 700 MNVN Metallic. When you think of metallic, you think of metal. So a color line in that gray realm would align. So we already had the Bone MNVN, which was like a lighter gray. So I'm assuming that if we do get a gray color for metallic, it's gonna be more of a darker type of gray. Now, where it gets really interesting are these upcoming MNVN Geodes, because we did already get the V2 Geode, which was like a brownish color, some cream in there, so more of like an earth tone. Now, if the MNVN happens to be brown, that would be cool, but I feel like a brown earth tone doesn't really fall in line with the colors that we've had so far for the MNVN. So when you take a look at the Geode name, think about a Geode crystal. Could these possibly be those long-awaited purple MNVNs that we've all been dying for ever since we saw the samples? I'm not saying that it could be, but just speculating and hoping, because I feel like if we get the purple MNVN, this would be the color to kind of bring that hype back and get people really excited about the MNVN. So we got the MNVN Geode as well as Metallic are currently set to drop on the same day at the end of December. Ladies and gentlemen, here you have it. This is an exclusive first look at the upcoming 700 V1 Faded Azure. And I got to admit, guys, that I was wrong about these joints. When I first saw mock-up photos of these, I was first thinking like another version, like 2.0 of the Inertias, which was one of the original V1 colorways. I wasn't really feeling those ones too much initially, and but looking at these now with the detailed video, I gotta say that they are somewhat interesting. The first thing that kind of pops out to me are the iconic orange drips. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be fans of that, as the 700s that dropped this year had that orange sole, thus the little pops or drips that we like to call them, you know, didn't stand out as much as previous releases. So in terms of the colorway, guys, the primary color on this is like a green, and then you got some different blues infused into here with some dark gray laces. So these are somewhat interesting. As we do know, Adidas has increased the retail price from $240 up with a $10 increase to $250 retail for this upcoming colorway. And by looking at this video clip, it appears that the materials on these are looking to be very premium. I mean, just look at how good the suede looks on these joints. Now, is it warranted enough for this price increase? I don't know. I mean, when it comes to these big corporations making these little small price increases, I don't like it because it's just a small amount. So as a consumer, we really don't care. But in the grand scheme of things, these companies are just getting rich off of us. So I don't know how to feel about it. Again, it's just $10, so I'm not complaining too much, but these joints are interesting. Now, as a personal pickup, with all of the newer silhouettes, I'm just more excited about those. So like these boots and everything have kind of satisfied me for now. So looking at these, I do like them, you know, a lot better than when I first saw them, but I don't think these are gonna be a pickup for me, but definitely be looking to get a pair of these in hand, because, you know, I gotta judge them in hand first. But yeah, guys, this is an upcoming look at the 700 V1 Faded Azure, retailing at $250, releasing very soon. So you guys know what I need you to do. Drop your opinions. Let me know what you think about these joints. Are they a cop or a drop for you guys? So that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I'm JA, salute to everybody. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm out, y'all.